of this. I'm actually going to have you share your screen so we could go through it from the customer's perspective. You know, mine, I'm going to see the admin side of things. All right, cool. So, you know, there are a couple of, you know, main functions whenever it comes to this CRM, and everything else kind of feeds into those functions. Okay. So in my opinion, the two main functions are going to be conversations and also opportunities. Okay. Conversations, everything's going to be linked to here. You can buy phone numbers through here. They're all Twilio numbers. You can buy them anywhere in the country, and they're only $1 per phone number per month. And every text message or every phone call, even if it's from your phone or anything like that, will show up here under conversations.
Okay.
So you'll see your text messages in here. You'll see your emails in here. You'll see your inbound and outbound calls. The call recording will be set up, and then you'll actually see the recorded call inside of the contact. So if you have a lead and you and your acquisition managers are going back and forth, you will both be able to see each other's communications. If there's a recorded call, you can hit play and you can listen to the whole call. On top of that, of course, there's notes, so you could summarize that. But everything is right there in a linear order, just like you're reading a text message. You can also sync all of your platforms with it. So you can sync your Facebook, you can sync your Instagram. You can put everything in here. So when anyone messages you on those, it also goes into your conversations. My favorite thing about this, you know, I use this at lead mining, and my favorite thing about it is that everything's in one place. You know, I don't have to check I don't have to go to my Instagram app, my Facebook app, and then my phone texting app, right? Like I used to have to. Now I can just look right in here and all of my conversations are in one place.
Okay. Can you post on one place and it goes to all your different social media?
This does have a built-in social media scheduler.
Okay.
Into it as well. But here you can see you can link your Google accounts, you could link your Facebook accounts. So everything is all in one place for you. You can even sync your Shopify and your Stripe. Maybe you have an e-commerce business. I know you don't, but maybe you have an e-commerce business and you want to send out invoices for stuff. Like I could use this, for example, to invoice and bill my clients all directly through Stripe. So all these integrations are in here. You can also do email. The email is all set up as well. So you can do email blasts. You can email with customers back and forth in here. So you want to get your integration set up, and that will kind of begin to fuel everything. There's also reputation management. So anytime you get like a review, since everything is linked, you'll also get a notification. You know, you could also request reviews and everything else. It will notify you when you get a review, and you can also set up custom text follow-ups for people to leave you a review.
Okay.
It's cool because I wanted to name this business in a box, because that's kind of what it is. It gives you the opportunity to link everything to it and feel like your business is right here. You know, with lead mining, and even sometimes a little now, like I can feel like a little scattered. Like I was saying, you know, it took me forever to have all my communications in one area.
Right.
You know? And now I use Discord for my employees, and I use this for my customers.
Okay.
You know? And it's nice, you know, in your brain, it's nice to know Discord is coworkers and this is customers. You know, makes it really easy to manage your life. So after conversations is opportunities. So here inside of opportunities, I've created a couple lists. There's buyers and sellers. So we kind of created these little pathways. Everything is very editable. Let me see if that didn't click yet. So this is like the buyer process, property under contract, buyers blasted, buyer found, buyer assigned. And then there's another one. And then we created another one down here called emergency holdup, which is where you would, like, let's say something goes wrong with title. Well, what our original vision for that was, when we move it there, you will get a text message immediately saying, hey, there's an emergency holdup on 1311 Sycamore Street, and you need to address it. That way, if you have like a VA and something's on breakdown, they could shift it over there, and then you could easily manage. Because I know once the property's under contract, one of the main issues is something comes up at title, and then we have to solve that problem rather quickly. I've learned that through working with a lot of investors, and so that was the vision there. So this is our buying property process, and then here is our sellers.
So more like acquisitions and disposition side of the,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, everything that's exactly right. That one's all like the disposition side. And then this one is like the acquisition side of it. And here's the vision. So interested seller, right? So at lead mining, if you have our service, all of our leads automatically get imported into here for you. So they're going to be under interested seller.
Okay.
Then what we have is a qualified lead. Okay. Now a qualified lead is someone that you spoke with, and it actually meets your current qualifications. Okay. And that would be, they're actually distressed, or they want a good price, or they're at least reasonable to talk to, whatever puts them in your qualifications. Once they're qualified, we need to comp the property. Okay, so then we have comps completed. And then once the comp is completed, we have to then prepare our negotiation. We have to find our MAO. We have to then make an offer. Okay, so then we have make an offer, and then offer accepted and contract signed. Now, what I have built in here, which I think you have to activate, but I'll pull it up right now. What I have built in here, because what I'm trying to differentiate this CRM from many others is it follows up with you to follow up with them, right? One of the main things I want, one of the biggest things is, and as an entrepreneur myself, I need someone telling me what to do next all the time.
Sure.
I have so much shit going on. I actually have a position in my company now called a project manager, and it's Jennifer. And it's now her job to basically be my boss and tell me, hey, Nick, we need a decision on this, we need a decision on that. And that was kind of my vision when creating this. So we created a couple of workflows in advance for you guys to set up tasks to pursue that lead, to really make it happen. So for example, this workflow here is, and I'm going to show you how to activate these. This is the automation side of our business, and these are 4 pre-created things that we set up for automations. So this first one is a qualified seller. Okay, so whenever someone gets interested seller, okay, and that's the very first step on that process, you get a task that tells you time to qualify this seller and check their temperature. Okay. I updated this a little bit for newer ones, so I'll get the new copy to you. But every step along the way, I try to So I recommend that my clients focus on 3 main questions to follow up with the leads. So when I've created all of these steps, I not only gave you the to-do, but I also kind of gave you the how-to-do as well. Because I learned with lead mining that so many people get the lead, but they don't really make the step. And I think it's because they're doing so much decision making. they're doing so much decision making, they kind of get stage fright and they just go, nah, it doesn't look hot enough, I won't call it. So I kind of created in here a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of what's next, and then how to do it. So on this one, I'm just going to type it while I do it because the updated ones have this. But the first question is, why do you want to sell the property? You know, I recommend saying that in the sense of like, hey, this looks like a nice place. Why do you want to sell it?
Right.
Figure that out. Next is, what do you want to do with the money? Okay, I love this question because as an average consumer, I'm a big time consumer. So what's next for me? What's my next big purchase? I'm probably going to have that in mind when I do this. And if you can get me thinking about my next car, it's a lot easier for me to think about buying my next car than it is for me to think about selling my current car. Right? But if you can get me to think about that next purchase, what I want to do with the money, a trip to Disney World, the new Cybertruck, you know, whatever it might be, then the next question is, well, how much money is that going to take? So then you want, and that's the number. So for example, well, I need $50,000. Okay, so you're telling me that if I put $50,000 in your hand, that I can have the house. Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Okay. And then how much do you owe on the house? Right. So now we're reverse constructing the whole equation. So this is how I recommend reaching out to leads, because we're having a different conversation. We're kind of getting them, we're kind of pep talking the sale. So anyways, this is going to go out to you as a new task in the CRM. Okay. So you get that. Then I have created here, which we can change this, but now this is going to text the lead as soon as it comes in. And it's going to say, let's see what this says. I was wondering when you had a minute to chat. Okay. So the lead comes in. You're going to get a task telling you what to do and how to say it. And then the seller is going to get a text from you using this platform asking when they had a minute to talk.
Okay.
Okay. So that is step one in the automation process. If you, I can publish this now or leave it in draft. It's as simple as clicking this and clicking save. Okay. Oh, let me save first. And then I basically have these for every step up until offer made. So we have one for qualifying the lead. We have one for the lead being qualified, and now it's time to comp the lead. So when it gets moved, the way this works is when it gets moved to qualified lead needs comp, this automatically is going to happen. And then I basically tell you how to comp the property. In your case, if you have a different system, you can do your thing. But I tell them to go to Zillow, search the exact property, find the criteria, use the filters, change it to recently sold, and then look up properties in that same vicinity that have the same exact property size or lot size or whatever. And then I basically explain the whole process on how to do it. And then I tell them how many comps they want. They want 3 renovated comps, 1 really high one and 1 low one. So you want 5 comps total. The low comp is used to negotiate with the seller. The high comp is used to negotiate with the buyer. You see, I really tried to do this. It's almost like a built-in mentorship.
Yeah, sure.
I'm really trying to get my clients like in massive action, was my vision. And I just taken everything I've learned over all the years. And I mean, it's only a couple sentences, but that's really what you're supposed to do next. It's that simple. And then I have the last one, which is time to negotiate. Okay, comps are ran. We got the comps. We know our MAO. When the lead gets moved to comps completed is when they get this task. You just ran comps, so you should know the property's ARV, and you should now have your MAO, your maximum allowable offer. This is a max offer that you can make where you still make enough money to make it worth it, whether that is $5,000 or $10,000 added on to the contract price. Now call the seller to negotiate, and don't start negotiations at your MAO. Start them at $20,000 below and work your way up to the final offer. So, I'm trying to, you know what I'm doing there. I'm just like, hey, don't start at your top dollar. Leave some room for that heckling. So yeah, so all that automation, it does have to be published, even for new clients. So, if you're watching this and you're new, you do have to click these and then go to publish on each one, but they are already in here. Okay. And it's all assigned, all the assigning and the task all goes to the owner. So if you have a virtual assistant or you have anything like that, then you will then they're the owner, then that's who will get the notification. The last thing we have is, this is just a form. So I'll show you the forms real quick. Everything's done through automation. So just creating a form doesn't mean it goes anywhere. What you would do is you would create the form and then go into the automation and then tell it what to do. So, hey, this is what happens after this form gets filled out. But just creating the form doesn't, it will create a contact record in your CRM, but you won't be notified or anything like that. That's where some of this automation comes in. And that's what this one does here. Just while we're in here, I'll show you. So we have a form that's in here automatically. And it's after the form is submitted, it creates an opportunity. So this opportunity is going to be created in the sellers, in the interested seller, and the opportunity name is going to be the contact name. But so one thing I created for lead mining clients is I created 3 forms and 3 of these. So one of them says SMS, opportunity source. One of them says cold call. One of them says PPC. So now when these forms get submitted, when you're looking at your list, you are actually seeing the source live on your system. And so I'll actually show you all that now. So now where the forms are is it is under, I believe it's called sites. This thing does have a built-in web page editor, so you can create your own website. It's all click and drag. It's all very easy to use. I am working on getting templates made, so you'll be able to choose from like 3 or 5 templates. Whether you're a realtor or an investor, you'll be able to pick whichever one works for you. So we go into sites here, and these are funnels. This thing also has a funnel capability. A lot of these are geared towards realtor. This is some of the stuff that it came with, but I would take a look at those and see how you could tweak them. So into forms. Here we have home sellers form. So this is a link that you would give to your VA or whatever it might be, and then they would fill this out. And then the automation that I showed you previously will then take this and put it into the sellers, into the interested seller line, which would then trigger all those other automations that we spoke about. So all of this is connected. So we get a lead, form gets filled out. Once the form's filled out, interested seller, and then you get a notification on, hey, it's time to qualify this lead. And then the seller gets a text message that says, hey, when do you have a time to chat? And so all that happens right away. And then that text will then be back in your conversations. The conversations does have 3 tabs. So be careful. Sometimes even I still get confused. I'm like, oh shit, where did that go? Well, it's on unread. It's not on all. So if you just replied, it's going to be on all, you know, and so just watch that. So if it's outgoing, it's basically going to be on all or recents. And then if it's an incoming unread, it's going to be on unread as well. And those are really, in my opinion, those 2 main functions.
Okay.
You know, of it. There's a built-in dialer under manual actions. You can upload a list under contacts.
So first I would have to get a Twilio number.
Yeah, so and all that is in here. I'll show you. All that's built in and just a click of a button. So you don't have to go do anything. It's actually all under my Twilio account. And then it rebills you. So you don't have to go to twilio.com and figure all that out. It's a couple clicks. But in contacts, you would upload a list here, and then you would basically set up a manual action, which one of these buttons are like apply manual action, or add to campaign or workflow. You would basically, if you uploaded contacts and click that, you would then have the manual action of call. If you had a VA, they could come in here and then just call everyone. They would click start and it would work just like a dialer. It is all single line, so it's not like a triple line. It's not like the most effective, but if it's a warm lead or something, you know, you want it on a single line.
Yeah.
And then for phone numbers, I think we're going to go into settings for this. There's a tab over here called phone numbers. When you integrate your Google too, your calendar also syncs. So on the other screen, there's a calendar tab too. So you will actually, if you click that, you'll see everything you have scheduled for the day, and everything will be on both calendars as well. So you won't have like this hidden secret calendar. It will all be synced automatically. So, and then here, it's literally as easy as add number. And then you put in your area code, and then you crush it. And it's only $1 per phone number per month.
Okay.
I think that's one of the big perks. Oh, look, it's making a liar out of me. $2.
Yeah.
$2 per phone number per month.
We're in a recession right now, so they're charging more.
Yeah, well, there's your inflation, folks.
Cool. Yeah, I'll mess with that later.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically the phone number side, and any text or call goes right to here. And if it forwards to your cell phone, I love it, because that call you pick up and it says you have a new lead. Please press 1. And I love that, because now you know it's a business call and everything. And if you go back into here, that call will be in your conversations as well. And then you have a dashboard. And then the dashboard will actually show you how, like, so for example, I have one, and you could actually set each lead's value. So if you have one of those opportunity cards, I'll just show you real quick. So we're in sellers. We're going to create a new opportunity card. when they fill out that form, this automatically happens, so you don't have to do all of this. But this is if you were to like manually add it. I type faster than it knows how to handle over here. You always do want to rename the opportunity. You can rename it my name, or if you want to do the property address, whatever you want to show up. Basically, we're creating a Trello card right now, is what's going to be the end result of this. All right, source, I'm going to be a Zoom call. Lead value is going to be $5,000. And then add. So then this is going to create that Trello style board. And then you're going to have the value on it.
Okay.
So now when you go to your dashboard, this thing is going to track all of your stats for you automatically. So now open is 5,000.
Okay.
So when you have like 15 houses on the board, and you can actually decide whether it's open, closed, or lost. And you could be like, oh, fuck, we lost 25,000 worth of deals this month. We've got 100,000 open. And we closed 45,000 already. You know, you would be able to see that on this interface. So that's another cool thing about, you know, the dashboard. You can see everything that happens. But yeah, so I think that is about everything. And you can also, like I was saying, process payments in here. Like if you were e-commerce-ish, or, you know, you can set up invoices, orders, track everything directly.
Okay.
As soon as you connect your Stripe account, you can start billing out of this directly out of Stripe, which is very cool.
Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, do you have any other questions?
No, I'm just gonna go through it line by line and get it all filled in. And if
Yeah.
I have any questions, I'll hit you up.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, I believe that's about everything. This is where you would schedule your social media posts at.
Okay.
Okay, it does have a lot. So, I mean, I think we covered like 4 of like the 20 features that it has. You know, the 4 things we covered is probably, you know, the most ideal for operating, but tons of bells and whistles added on, including your own websites, creating your own forms, and, you know, doing stuff like that. So it can do a lot more. But yeah, let me know if any questions pop up. We can jump on another call. We can create some custom automation. Maybe once you get it used, and then you're like, wow, I'd love for this text to be sent out instead of when do you have time? Can we change that to this other thing? You know, so we can also, I can show you how to customize it yourself, or we could do it in a couple of these calls until you get a hang of it as well.
Sounds good, brother. I appreciate your time, and then I'll hopefully get rolling on this.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dan. I really appreciate it, dude.
Take care.
See ya.